He was a powerhouse at the transformation stage with 3 lifetimes of memories. He unexpectedly fell and, what the hell, was reborn on Earth. Back in high school, his first life was even on Earth, but he was a complete and utter good for nothing. His first love goddess looked down on him. His fiancée forced him to break off the engagement. Even his family saw him as a disgrace. Unable to withstand the pressure, he ultimately chose to commit suicide. Unexpectedly, he was saved by the East Flower Immortal Emperor and began his second life. Embarking on the path of cultivation, he also fell in love with his beloved junior sister, Luo Li. However, the two of them trespassed into the forbidden zone of the Immortals, the eye of the universe, hoping to discover the origin of the Immortals. But what the hell, they triggered a forbidden power, causing them both to fall. In this third life, damn it, fate has made him reborn back into high school again. He was dozing off at his desk. Suddenly, he jumped up, unleashing a heart-wrenching roar. Junior sister. He stood blankly in the classroom, completely dumbfounded. He remembered that he was with his junior sister. Were they not trespassing into the forbidden zone of the Immortals, the eye of the universe? How did he suddenly appear here? He only remembered that in the last moment, his junior sister, Luo Li, had fallen to protect him, but now he was in a classroom, and what the hell, in the middle of an exam. Someone poked him with a pen, telling him to sit down quickly and reminding him that it was the midterm exam. Chen Mo turned his head, and it was his good buddy, Zhao Gang. At this moment, everyone stared blankly at Chen Mo. Even the 2 proctors were no exception. Then, the whole class erupted in laughter. Junior sister? Haha, Chen Mo, this kid has gone nuts in his sleep. I think he's been reading too many wuxia novels. Junior sister? I'm the freaking Ling Hu Chong. And Kuyu, the school beauty sitting by the window, was filled with disappointment. Although her parents had always wanted to match her with Chen Mo, this kind of good-for-nothing was nothing compared to Yuan Hao, the man she secretly admired. Zheng Yuanhao glanced at Chen Mo, a look of extreme contempt flashing across his face. This trash didn't deserve Nkuyu at all, and wasn't even fit to be his love rival. The 2 proctors spoke up, stopping the students' commotion. One of the teachers was very annoyed with Chen Mo, threatening to kick him out of the exam room if he continued to disturb the exam. The one who spoke was his English teacher. Could it be that he had really, what the hell, been reborn back into high school? Chen Mo suddenly closed his eyes, sensing the surging spiritual power and powerful divine soul that could destroy stars, but found them completely empty. He was sure that this wasn't an illusion. He had truly been reborn. He was no longer the ignorant, good-for-nothing youth he once was. Now he would use his power to take back everything he once had. Since he had been reborn, his junior sister might also have been reborn on Earth. Now he had to quickly improve his strength and find his cultivation and junior sister. The English teacher saw that he wasn't sitting down to take the exam and berated him to get out if he didn't want to take it. Chen Mo sneered. He walked directly out of the classroom. Since he was reborn, this kind of exam was just a trivial matter. What he needed to do now was to recover his cultivation as quickly as possible. Strolling through the campus, he began to make plans. The 8 stages of cultivation are Qi refining, golden core, nascent soul, transformation, Dao integration, great ascension, tribulation, and immortal venerable. In his previous life, he was already a grand cultivator at the transformation stage. Now, what he needed to do was to step into the Qi refining stage, first level as soon as possible, and he needed to learn from the mistakes of his previous life, not seeking reckless advancement, but rather, seek to build a solid foundation so that he could go further on the path of cultivation in the future. In his previous life, Chen Mo was the East Flower Immortal Emperor's most valued disciple. The cultivation methods of all the races in the starry sky were all at Chen Mo's disposal, so Chen Mo was proficient in the techniques of all races. But if he wanted to lay a solid foundation, which technique should he choose? After careful consideration, he chose the Tian ascending dragon path. This technique was the best for new disciples to consolidate their foundations, and it was extremely suitable for Chen Mo right now. He closed his eyes and began to enter the first step of cultivation, guiding Qi into the body. Unexpectedly, he succeeded in guiding Qi into his body in just a quarter of an hour. This Tian ascending dragon path was indeed the most suitable for beginners to consolidate their foundations. At this time, Nkuyu and Jing Yuanhao walked over with a group of people. Nkuyu had just asked, "What is he doing here?" Before he could answer, Zheng Yuanhao mocked. Perhaps student Chen Mo performed exceptionally well and finished the exam early. The lackeys behind him echoed in laughter. Only one girl was looking at him with concern. This pure and kind girl was called Jian Yao. In his previous life, she had always been there for Chen Mo, but unfortunately, he hadn't cherished her at the time. Seeing that Chen Mo was ignoring her, Nkuyu said impatiently, "Chen Mo, I'm asking you a question." But Chen Mo walked in front of Jian Yao, showing her a gentle smile. "Yao Yao, how did you do on this exam?" Jian Yao's face flushed, and she was stunned. She didn't expect Chen Mo to ignore Kuyu and talk to her instead. She nervously put her hand on her chest, her voice as soft as a mosquito. Not bad. Chen Mo suddenly rubbed Jian Yao's little head. If you can get into the top 10 in the class, I'll give you a mysterious gift. Jian Yao immediately replied excitedly. Really? She immediately realized that Chen Mo's attitude towards her was too intimate and quickly lowered her head, her face turning red to her neck. Not daring to look at Chen Mo, she added, I will work hard. Chen Mo laughed. Okay, I have things to do. I'll leave first. See you in 3 days. Watching Chen Mo's departing back, and Kuyu felt very displeased that this guy dared to slight her. To regain her sense of loss, she was certain that he was just putting on an act. A dignified Immortal Venerable, back on Earth, was actually selling fulu at a roadside stall. Just after he left school, he remembered that he was currently living at Kuyu's home. He couldn't help but feel a headache. He really didn't want to continue living in the Yin family's home. He wanted to rent a place, but when he touched the few living expenses in his pocket, it was clear that this money wasn't enough. Passing by a supermarket, he already had an idea in mind. Then night fell. Chen Mo found a park with a lot of traffic. He set up a stall by the roadside. It turned out that he had just bought paper and pens to draw fulu and sell it for money. The old men and women who passed by felt it was unbelievable. Are students these days even coming out to swindle people? Chen Mo just shrugged, not caring. He believed that in a vast sea of people, there would always be 1 or 2 people who knew the value. At this time, a hand reached out for the fulu on the stall. What can these fu do? The beauty who asked was called Jin Peiyun, refined and elegant, yet exuding a noble aura. She was even more beautiful than Kuyu by 3 points. Chen Mo picked up a fulu, proudly introducing, concentrates the mind and clears the head, dispels evil and removes filth, stabilizes the home and sets the wind, strengthens the body. Hearing the 4 words, concentrates the mind and clears the head, Jin Peiyun paused, a hint of anticipation flashing in her beautiful eyes. Suddenly leaning closer to Chen Mo, she asked, if someone's mind is confused and they often talk nonsense, and they don't even recognize their closest family members, can your talisman cure it? Chen Mo pointed to the leftmost talisman. That is an imbalance of yin and yang, and the Emperor's soul isn't returning. Modern medicine would call it neurasthenia. That focus talisman is most suitable. Jin Peiyun picked up the focus talisman and asked how much it cost. Chen Mo shook his finger, keeping her in suspense. Let's get this straight. If you don't believe in it, it won't work. Jin Peiyun didn't even hesitate to say that she believed him. And then Chen Mo said, the focus talisman is 30,000. The clear mind talisman is 20,000. And the rest are 10,000. As soon as he finished speaking, a short-haired woman suddenly appeared from the side, shouting at Chen Mo, 30,000? Why don't you just rob someone? Then Li Shengnan lectured Jin Peiyun. How can you believe this kind of scam? Jin Peiyun understood that her best friend had a point, but she still wanted to buy it and try, because her grandmother's condition could not be delayed any longer. Then Jin Peiyun directly transferred the money to Chen Mo. Chen Mo, seeing her filial piety, gave her the rest of the talismans and told her, go back and stick the talisman on the patient's forehead. Shout, right, and it will be fine. Jin Peiyun felt that Chen Mo was becoming more unfathomable and smiled to thank him. Li Shengnan next to her was full of disdain and threatened Chen Mo. If it doesn't work, no matter where he hides, we will get him. With the money, Chen Mo quickly rented a house near the school. As soon as he moved in, he started cultivating without delay. The scene moved to the Jin family's villa bedroom, where Jin Peiyun's grandmother was lying in bed, with Jin Peiyun's grandfather sitting in a chair beside her. Jin Peiyun then walked into the bedroom and asked about her grandmother's condition. Old Master Jin sighed. He said that his grandmother's condition would probably not last long. Seeing this, Jin Peiyun handed the fulu she had bought to her grandfather, wanting to try it on her grandmother. Old Master Jin looked dim and sighed, not believing in such things. Jin Peiyun, eager to save her grandmother, begged her grandfather to let her try. The old man couldn't bear to refuse and agreed. Jin Peiyun slowly walked to the bedside. She gently put the focus talisman on her grandmother's forehead. According to the method taught by Chen Mo, she pinched her fingers and shouted the word, rise. Nothing happened, and her grandmother continued to sleep peacefully. Old Master Jin sighed helplessly again. A wave of disappointment welled up in Jin Peiyun's heart. Old Master Jin saw that his granddaughter was looking aggrieved and comforted her softly. Just then, the fulu suddenly started to burn automatically. Then, it turned into a few strands of golden light and drilled into her grandmother's forehead. The grandmother's old and weak voice called out, grandson. The grandparents both turned their heads towards the bed in unison. They saw that the grandmother had slowly sat up, calling out her grandfather's name. Excitedly, Jin Peiyun quickly moved in front of her grandmother, turning her sorrow into joy. "Grandma, do you still recognize me?" her grandmother said, a little surprised. "You are my granddaughter. Why wouldn't I recognize you?" Old Master Jin was so excited that he was trembling all over, shouting, "Peiyun, quickly go get Dr. Lin." Dr. Lin came quickly to examine the grandmother. Suddenly, he exclaimed in amazement, "A miracle! It's truly a miracle. The old lady is already better." The grandparents finally breathed a sigh of relief, but the old man seemed to be thinking about something. After Dr. Lin left, Old Master Jin asked Jin Peiyun in detail about the origin of the Fulu. Then, the old man became exceptionally serious and asked Jin Peiyun to mobilize all her forces to investigate Chen Mo's background. He wanted to personally visit this mysterious high school student. A dignified Immortal Venerable had to bow his head to reality. After all, the spiritual energy of Earth was too barren. Chen Mo picked up his phone and stared blankly, because his mother should call him soon. Sure enough, his mother, Li Sufin, had already called. After answering the phone, his mother's voice rang out, "Xiao Mo, get in the car and come to Hanyang Airport right away. Come with me to Yanjing to attend your grandmother's funeral." After 600 years, Chen Mo heard his mother's voice again. He was stunned on the spot, 100 emotions surging. After a brief silence, he replied to his mother, "Okay," and hung up the phone. On the way to the airport, he recalled his mother's past. His mother, Li Sufin, born into the Lin family, one of the 6 super-rich families of Yanjing. She was expelled from the family for marrying his father, a commoner. Even so, his parents didn't give in, but instead, achieved great success in their respective fields. But Chen Mo was seen as a complete outsider in the eyes of the Li family, and was even considered a disgrace by the Li family, but he still had some value. He was used as a tool for marriage with the second-tier Yang family. Faced with the upcoming tribulations, Chen Mo did not have any fear, but rather a faint sense of anticipation. In the airport hall, the mature and dignified woman was Chen Mo's mother, Li Sufin. When Chen Mo saw his mother from his memories, he suddenly felt an urge to cry, but he suppressed it in an instant. He happily called out to Li Sufin, "Mom." Walking in front of his mother, he gave her a rainbow fart. "You look even more beautiful, Mom." After not seeing you for a few months, his mother, who was originally in a heavy mood, was immediately amused by him. His mother told him that when he arrived in Yanjing, he should kowtow to his grandmother a few more times, and then the two of them walked into the waiting room. 20 minutes later, the plane pierced through the clouds and flew towards Yanjing, and the villa complex in the suburbs of Yanjing in front of them was the stronghold of the Li family. In front of the Li family's house, there were already various top luxury cars parked. The mother and son were now standing in front of the gate. On both sides of the gate, there was a pair of elegiac couplets, "A lifetime of frugality leaves a model. Diligent work is passed on through the family." The butler, Uncle Fu, who was responsible for welcoming guests, looked embarrassed and looked at Li Sufin. "Fourth miss, why have you come?" Chen Mo saw that this old fellow was having trouble, so he guessed that the Li family did not welcome his mother. Li Sufin asked back, "How can I not come? To see my mother off on her final journey?" Uncle Fu immediately whispered to her, "I'm afraid there will be a lot of resistance to this memorial service." But Li Sufin believed that it was her daughter's duty to mourn her mother, and not even the emperor could stop her. In Uncle Fu's sigh, Li Sufin took her son's hand and strode towards the house. In his previous life, when Chen Mo first entered the Li family's territory, he was so frightened by these hostile looks that he was hesitant and submissive. But now, the entire Li family was like ants in his eyes. In the main hall, a crystal coffin was quietly displayed, sitting high on the altar. It was Li Dongyang, the current head of the Li family. However, when he saw his fourth daughter and grandson, he looked completely indifferent. Chen Mo, the eldest uncle, Li Wen, raised his eyebrows and asked in an unfriendly tone, "Fourth sister, why are you here?" Li Sufin felt that he was obviously just looking for trouble, so she coldly retorted, "Since you call me fourth sister, is there even a need to ask such a childish question?" Li Wen couldn't find a rebuttal, and the second uncle, Li Wu, next to him could only snort, expressing his dissatisfaction. But for the sake of brother-sister affection, Li Wen still gave way to Li Sufin. But when Chen Mo was about to walk past, he was stopped by his eldest uncle, and the second uncle then said that he, an outsider, couldn't enter. Li Sufin was furious. "Chen Mo is my son, my mother's grandson. How can he be an outsider? Are your 3 sons and 1 daughter all outsiders?" Li Wu was filled with resentment, gritting his teeth and responding, "If one is not recorded in the family genealogy, then he's an outsider. With me here, he can forget about stepping into the mourning hall." Seeing the 2 siblings about to clash, Chen Mo's aunt, Li Lian, quickly stepped forward to mediate, repeatedly trying to dissuade Li Sufin. Li Wen glanced at Li Sufin's father. Li Sufin could only grit her teeth and give in. Then, full of apologies, she touched Chen Mo's face, letting him see off the grandmother who had loved him since childhood for the last time. Right in front of the mourning hall door, Chen Mo knelt in front of the mourning hall door without hesitation, heavily kowtowing 3 times to his grandmother. In the evening, the eldest uncle's son, Li Yu, told Li Sufin to go rest, and that he would arrange Chen Mo's accommodation. Li Sufin didn't want to trouble him so much, but he used the excuse that the Li family cannot be disturbed, a rule passed down from their ancestors, leaving Li Sufin speechless. Chen Mo signaled his mother not to worry. Li Yu saw that his plan had succeeded. A sinister smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Li Yu led Chen Mo forward, and Chen Mo knew that they were going to a warehouse. Moreover, in his previous life, he had been locked inside by the younger generation of the Li family. He was almost beaten to death. Walking in front of the warehouse, Li Yu finally no longer needed to keep up his act. Chen Mo deliberately asked, "Is your Li family so poor that you can only let guests stay in the warehouse?" Li Yu casually threw the warehouse key on the ground. "Letting you stay in the warehouse is already an honor." He left those words and turned to leave. But what he didn't know was that the devil of hell was waiting for him. The game of a dignified Immortal Venerable pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger was about to begin. Late at night, several members of the younger generation of the Li family, led by Li Yu, walked towards the warehouse where Chen Mo was. Li Yu took out another key to the warehouse and handed it to a young man. He had him open the door. The moment the door was opened, Chen Mo's voice also came. "Since you're here, come in, everyone." The two young men in front immediately pulled out iron rods from their waists, Li Yu following closely behind. After they walked inside, the two at the very front were both stunned. Chen Mo was sitting calmly on a tie chair, with his fingers intertwined. He smiled playfully. "What are you trying to do?" Li Yu stepped forward and laughed disdainfully at Chen Mo. "I'll let you know the consequences of insulting me." Then he ordered these ignorant young men to start, and specifically told them, "Just don't kill him." Chen Mo watched them calmly as they approached. Suddenly, he threw out a punch and kicked out a leg like lightning. In just a few seconds, the people who rushed at him were all knocked to the ground. Li Yu clearly hadn't expected this situation. Chen Mo patted the dust off his shoulders, too lazy to even look at Li Yu directly. But Li Yu didn't retreat, and even praised Chen Mo a couple of times. Then he suddenly unleashed a powerful aura. He shamelessly told Chen Mo to see what true strength really is. Chen Mo was slightly startled, and secretly shocked. "Spiritual power? It's too weak. It can only be barely called Qi." Could there be cultivators on Earth now? At this time, two lackeys who had been beaten black and blue in the face looked at Li Yu with admiration. "I didn't expect Brother Yu to be a martial artist. He looks like he has reached the great achievement of Outer Realm." Hearing this, Chen Mo was somewhat confused. What does martial artist and great achievement of Outer Realm mean? Before he could think about it carefully, Li Yu jumped up and threw a punch at him. Chen Mo only stretched out one hand, easily grasping his fist. Before Li Yu could react from the shock, Chen Mo raised his hand and threw him into the air. Then he slammed him hard on the ground. Li Yu immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. Chen Mo stepped on his chest with one foot, looking at him coldly. "Is this your so-called strength? It's simply pathetic." The two lackeys shouted to Chen Mo to let him go. Chen Mo said indifferently, "Let him go? Fine." But as he said this, his foot slammed hard on Li Yu's abdomen. Li Yu let out a miserable scream. It turned out that Chen Mo's kick had directly crippled his dantian. But Li Yu still didn't repent. He threatened that he would not let him go even as a ghost. Chen Mo revealed a playful look. "Don't worry, the show has just begun." The scene moved to the front of Li Dongyang's villa. Chen Mo's eldest uncle, Li Wen, and his aunt, Wang Xiaoyun, were kneeling in the courtyard, crying. Behind them was Li Yu, lying unconscious and covered in blood on a stretcher. Li Dongyang asked them with a gloomy face, "What exactly happened?" Li Wen gritted his teeth and squeezed out a sentence. "Father, Yu's dantian was crippled by that bastard from Fourth Sister's family." Li Dongyang's veins immediately bulged, and he roared with rage. "You little beast, how dare you be so ruthless?" Then he told Chen Mo's second uncle, Li Wen, to bring the mother and son over, and Chen Mo had already arrived. "There's no need. I've already arrived." Suddenly, all the Li family members started cursing at him. Even the second uncle, Li Wen, thought that this guy was really bold. The aunt, Li Lian, opened her mouth wide, finding it unbelievable. This kid actually dared to come alone. Chen Mo's aunt, Wang Xiaoyun, suddenly got up. She berated Chen Mo. You is still your cousin after all. How could you be so cruel?" Chen Mo's eldest uncle, Li Wen, was also glaring at Chen Mo at this moment. Li Dongyang finally spoke. "Kneel down." Chen Mo looked at this so-called grandfather with a non-committal smile, completely unmoved. Li Dongyang shouted again, "Kneel down." Chen Mo coldly retorted, "My whole life I act under the heavens. What wrong have I done?" As soon as he said this, it aroused the anger of the Li family. Li Wen could no longer hold back and cursed. "You beast! As a member of the Li family, you inflicted such heavy injuries on your cousin from the same clan, and you still won't admit you're wrong." Chen Mo said indifferently, "A member of the Li family? Now you're willing to acknowledge me as a member of the Li family? I don't care." Li Wen could only kneel on the ground again and asked Li Dongyang for help. "Father, you've all seen it. This little beast is disrespectful, arrogant, and conceited." Li Dongyang roared 3 words, "Bring the family law." The 3 words, bring the family law, sent shivers down the spines of all the Li family members, and even Chen Mo's aunt was worried sick for him. Li Wen and Wang Xiaoyun cursed in their hearts. Serves him right? Just at this critical moment, Chen Mo's mother arrived at lightning speed. Big brother, Xiao Mo is definitely not a wanton killer. There must be some misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? 4th sister, your own nephew is still lying there in a pool of blood, his life hanging by a thread, and you tell me it's a misunderstanding. Li Sufang anxiously looked at Chen Mo, wanting to hear her son's explanation. Chen Mo retorted, Mom, do you think these people will believe my explanation? Li Sufang knew how cruel the family law was, and believing that justice would prevail, she told Chen Mo to tell the truth and let everyone judge. Chen Mo helplessly scratched his head. His mother still had illusions about the Li family, but he couldn't disobey her. Chen Mo suddenly looked aside at the Li family brat he had beaten up before. He grabbed him by the collar, then with a flick of his wrist, threw him to the ground. Let him speak. He saw the entire thing unfold. He saw everything clearly. The Li family was instantly stunned. He was obviously part of Li Yu's gang. How could he tell the truth? Li Dongyang was also confused by Chen Mo's moves. Chen Mo moved closer, his eyes filled with undeniable authority. Speak out what you know, every single detail. Do not utter a single lie. That little brat's eyes immediately went blank, and he spilled Li Yu's conspiracy, even including the words Li Yu used to insult Chen Mo and Li Sufang. The Li family members who had been raging with anger were now dumbfounded. Li Wen and his wife were even more incredulous. Li Sufang gritted her teeth in anger. Big brother, is this the kind of good son you raised? Wang Xiaoyun, however, made an unreasonable argument, saying that even if her son was foul-mouthed, Chen Mo shouldn't have attacked him so ruthlessly. Then, she deliberately brought up Li Sufang and Chen Mo's father's matter. Li Sufang was so angry she almost lost her balance. Chen Mo quickly supported his mother, asking her if she was alright. Li Sufang couldn't swallow her anger. I'll just ask one question. If it was my Xiao Mo lying on the ground today, what would you do? After that, she looked at Li Dongyang. Father, would you still bring the family law? Chen Mo's eyes sharpened. He stared at Li Dongyang, secretly applauding his mother's beautiful counterattack, to see how Li Dongyang would deal with this. This was truly the most shameless grandfather he had ever seen. Just because Chen Mo's father was a commoner, they were so cold and ruthless. His answer was, no. He kept saying that Chen Mo wasn't a Li family member, and an outsider's life wasn't worth using the Li family's family law. Li Sufang felt like her heart had died. She gave a cold laugh. Clear enough, heartless enough. Then what does the head of the Li family plan to do with this matter today? Li Sufang addressed Li Dongyang as the head of the family, which meant she had made up her mind to sever her father-daughter relationship with him. Li Dongyang roared in anger. Blood for blood. First, put Chen Mo in custody. We will deal with him after Li Yu wakes up. Li Sufang was utterly disappointed. Then what if I say no? You dare? Why wouldn't I dare? Li Dongyang was slapped in the face by his daughter in public. He was so angry he raised his hand to slap her. Suddenly, a hand moved as fast as lightning and grabbed Li Dongyang's wrist. The one who made the move was Chen Mo. Li Sufang, who thought she was about to get slapped, was stunned for a moment. The Li family members all roared in anger, staring at Chen Mo in shock. Li Liwen, as the commander of the military region, had already drawn his gun. If Chen Mo dared to make any rash moves, this second uncle would kill him without hesitation. Even his mother, who was about to break with the Li family, urged Chen Mo to let go. Chen Mo suddenly felt an extremely dangerous aura coming at him. He saw that behind Li Dongyang, 2 white-haired elders had appeared out of nowhere. The aura these two emitted was enough to pose a threat to Chen Mo. It seemed the Li family was far more complex than it appeared, but as a great cultivator at the transformation spirit realm, his dignity cannot be violated. In his past life, he was powerless, but in this life, if he still allowed his mother to be humiliated in front of him, he would have lived in vain, and been unworthy as a son. Chen Mo coldly stared at Li Dongyang. I was the one who did it. If you are not satisfied, come at me. As long as I am here today, no one can touch my mom, not even a hair on her head. Otherwise, I don't mind changing the head of your Li family. After saying that, Chen Mo no longer hid his strength. His spiritual power erupted. An aura even stronger than those 2 elders swept across the entire venue. The Li family members present all gasped in horror, because they discovered that the teenager in front of them was actually an internal energy martial artist. Li Dongyang was covered in cold sweat at such close range. If this kid wanted to kill him, even a celestial immortal wouldn't be able to save him. Li Sufang, however, looked puzzled, watching the exaggerated expressions of the Li family members, not knowing what had happened. Chen Mo's aunt came out to mediate. Chen Mo, let go quickly. How can you be so disrespectful to your grandfather? Chen Mo still didn't let go, turned to look at Li Liang, and sneered. Does he deserve to be my grandfather? When I was born, when I was being bullied, where was my grandfather? When I was surrounded by Li Yu's men, when my mother and I were being humiliated, Where was my grandfather then? Under Chen Mo's questioning, his uncles and aunts were all silent, their faces flushed with embarrassment. After saying that, he forcefully threw off Li Dongyang's hand. Under the dumbfounded expression of this so-called grandfather, he spoke again. This grandfather, I, Chen Mo, do not acknowledge. Just then, the number one of the younger generation of the Li family, Li Ji, stepped forward. He was Li Yu's older brother. He was nothing more than a hypocrite full of superficial benevolence, who upon his appearance immediately listed Chen Mo's crimes. He even pinned the labels of unbenevolent, unjust, disloyal and unfilial on him. Hearing these ridiculous words, Chen Mo laughed out loud. You seem to have forgotten that my surname is Chen, not Li. Those words seem reasonable, but in fact, a complete bullsh**. Li Ji then threatened Chen Mo. If you weren't a member of the Li family, let alone your mother's Maihua group, even your entire Chen family in Yuyang, my Li family can destroy it with a wave of our hand. Chen Mo retorted, your Li family is nothing more than ants in my eyes. Chen Mo, Li Ji glared at Chen Mo, telling him to kneel down and admit his mistake to Li Dongyang immediately. Otherwise, he threatened to destroy the Chen family in Yuyang within 5 years. Chen Mo replied expressionlessly, you want Chen Mo to kneel down and admit his mistake? Your Li family is not worthy. I also guarantee you, within 3 years, I will make your Li family willingly submit at my feet, begging for forgiveness. Li Dongyang was trembling with rage upon hearing these words. Pointing at Chen Mo, he made a harsh statement. Today's matter ends here. From today onwards, the Li family will list the Maihua group and the Chen family in Yuyang as our biggest competitors. Li Sufang broke out in a cold sweat. Her career was completely over, and it had even implicated the Chen family. Chen Mo completely ignored this childish threat, pulled his mother's arm. Let's go. Leave this heartless and unrighteous place. Li Sufang nodded faintly. At the moment, the only thing she could do was try her best to protect the Maihua group. Then, amidst the Li family's disdainful sneers, the mother and son resolutely left. After settling his mother, Chen Mo returned to Chaisang and headed straight to the antique market. He was going to buy some jade stones to set up a spirit gathering array. He didn't need to select specifically, just releasing his divine sense. He could sense the heaven and earth energy in the jade stones. But to his disappointment, after walking through more than a dozen shops, he couldn't even find a single jade stone containing heaven and earth energy. Suddenly, his footsteps stopped. He finally found a treasure. This man was a great cultivator at the transformation spirit realm with 3 lifetimes of memories. Just now, he found that the old Taoist stall had the jade stones he needed to set up the spirit gathering array. Chen Mo walked over, squatted down, and casually asked about the pile of jade lion statues on the stall. How much? Old Taoist, 1,000. Chen Mo then pointed to a portrait of a lady and asked, how much? Old Taoist, 2,000. Chen Mo almost finished asking the prices of everything, directly pointing to a glowing stone on the stall. How much for this thing? The old Taoist looked at Chen Mo. A glimmer of golden light suddenly appeared in his eyes. I found this on the mountain. If you want it, I can give it to you, but you have to tell me, what is this stone for? Chen Mo was slightly surprised. He had been very careful, but he was still discovered by the old Taoist. The surface of this stone was ordinary, but it contained a considerable amount of heaven and earth energy. Chen Mo decisively agreed, but added a condition. You have to tell me where you found the stone. The old Taoist readily handed him the stone. Then he packed up his stall. Follow me. There are too many people here. Not a place to talk. Chen Mo followed behind, weighing the stone in his hand. He was very satisfied. This was enough for him to set up a spirit gathering array, and the rest he could use to make some protective jade pendants after breaking through to the second level of chi condensation. Not long after, the old Taoist brought Chen Mo to a residential building. After making tea, the old Taoist asked, what exactly is this stone for? Chen Mo stated frankly, this stone contains heaven and earth energy. It's useless for ordinary people, but it has magical effects for those who practice martial arts. Could it be? Are you a martial arts cultivator? That's right. My master respected martial artists all his life, but unfortunately he never met one. I thought there were no martial artists at all. I didn't expect to see one today. After the old Taoist finished excitedly, he told Chen Mo, he found this stone at the edge of the black water pool in Lingwu Mountain. Although there were still many by the pool, local rumors said there were monsters in the pool, so he didn't dare to go deeper. Chen Mo thought he saw it with his own eyes, but the old Taoist said, as soon as I got close to the edge of the pool, I felt chills coming over me, so I didn't dare to go further. Chen Mo narrowed his eyes slightly. It seemed this black water pool had something he wanted. Chen Mo suddenly asked the old Taoist, do you want to become a martial artist? The old Taoist was stunned. His eyes widened in disbelief. Me? Can I? Isn't it said that cultivating martial arts requires aptitude and must be done before the age of 16? If I say you can, you can. As soon as he finished speaking, the old Taoist immediately bowed deeply to Chen Mo. Please, senior brother, guide me. If I can join your sect, I will forever remember your great kindness. Chen Mo's lips curled up slightly. It seemed this old Taoist had misunderstood. He pointed his hand like a sword finger. A corner of the solid wood tea table was neatly cut off. The cut was incredibly smooth. Chen Mo exuded a powerful aura. Cultivation is to defy the heavens, and doesn't care about age or seniority. Respect and rank are only based on strength. The old Taoist was extremely shocked. It was said that internal energy martial artists could use their palms like knives, cutting through gold and jade. The teenager in front of him was actually a real master. He quickly knelt down. "Master, please accept this disciple's bow." Chen Mo nodded. "If you want to join my sect, you are not worthy yet. For now, I will accept you as a registered disciple." The old Taoist bowed respectfully. Disciple obeys. Then, Chen Mo gave some instructions, telling him that he would come to teach him the cultivation method in a few days. After that, he turned and left, but after walking out, he suddenly remembered. He had actually forgotten to ask, what was the name of this registered disciple he just accepted? He was too embarrassed to go back, so he could only ask next time. This man was a great cultivator at the transformation spirit realm with 3 lifetimes of memories, and before him was the jade stone containing spiritual energy. He extended his palm, and in an instant, open, the green jade stone immediately split into 5 pieces. Chen Mo stood in the room, operating his spiritual power. As the spiritual energy moved, the jade stones were quickly placed in the 4 directions of east, west, south and north. The remaining piece was hidden in the roof, and instantly, in the air, streams of visible air currents formed, creating an esoteric and complex pattern. The spirit gathering array had taken effect. Chen Mo revealed a hint of a smile. With the spirit gathering array, his cultivation speed was about to increase rapidly. The scene changed, coming to the Yang family villa in Yanjing. Inside the house, a tall and slender beauty with waist-length hair was staring blankly out the window. This woman was none other than Yanjing's #1 goddess, Yang Qingcheng. At this time, a short-haired beauty in a red dress came up from behind. "Miss, the clan meeting just ended. They decided to cancel the engagement with the Cheng family. You and Chen Mo." Yang Qingcheng turned around abruptly, her eyes resolute. "The future of Yang Qingcheng is in my own hands. No one has the right to make any decisions for me. Sang, go and prepare. We'll leave for Wuzhou immediately." "But miss, leaving the Yang family will be dangerous for you. If it's just some ordinary playboys, you alone can deal with them. If they are powerful, don't we have an internal energy martial artist to back us up?" Sang hesitated. "But will he help us? After all, by then, you and he would have already called off the engagement." Yang Qingcheng was full of confidence. A smile played on her lips. "As long as we go to him, whether he helps or not, it won't be his choice." And at this moment in Chaisang, all the heaven and earth spiritual energy was frantically rushing towards one place. It was being narrated. It was Chen Mo who was sitting in the center of the spirit gathering array. When all the spiritual energy had been absorbed, the moment Chen Mo opened his eyes, a golden light burst out from his eyes. Chen Mo gently raised his palm. With a thought, a layer of golden flame condensed on his palm. This was the sign of reaching the first level of qi condensation, the external release of spiritual energy. According to this cultivation speed, 10 days later, he should be able to enter the second level of qi condensation, spiritual energy cocooning. However, even if he broke through to the first level of qi condensation, he still needed to consolidate his strength. In this life, he had to lay a good foundation. The next morning, Chen Mo flipped through his textbooks, remembering that tomorrow was the day to receive report cards, and also the day the Yang family would come to call off the engagement. In his past life, the Yang family calling off the engagement made him a laughingstock, but in this life, he was going to settle this score completely. Suddenly, Jiang Yao called him. Yao, why are you calling me so early? Did you encounter any trouble?" "No, it's just that my family's restaurant is opening today, and my parents asked me to invite some classmates to be the first customers, with free tasting. We're just a normal restaurant that sells home-style dishes, so we didn't invite Zheng Yu and Hao. I didn't even tell Ku Yu, so you can come without any worries. It won't be awkward for you." After hanging up the phone, Chen Mo arrived at Yao Yao's restaurant at the agreed time. As soon as he got out of the taxi, Jiang Yao ran over, greeting Chen Mo enthusiastically. As soon as they entered the door, Jiang Yao's mother walked up. Yao, this must be Chen Mo, right? This whole morning, my ears have been going numb from hearing you talk about him." Jiang Yao couldn't help but blush. Chen Mo smiled and cupped his fist towards Yao Yao's mother, wishing auntie a prosperous business and a lot of wealth. Yao Yao's mother immediately grinned from ear to ear. "Little Mo is really good at talking. No wonder my Yao is talking about you all day." Teased by her mother in front of Chen Mo, Jiang Yao's face turned red all the way to her neck, pushing her mother into the back kitchen. Chen Mo originally wanted to give his congratulatory speech and then give the red envelope, but now he didn't know what to do. If he gave it directly to Jiang Yao, this little girl definitely wouldn't accept it, so he quietly left the red envelope at the cashier. After Jiang Yao pushed her mother away, she came to Chen Mo's side, saying that this table was all their classmates. She told him to sit anywhere he liked. Seeing their intimate behavior, those admirers of Jiang Yao were cursing Chen Mo all over in their hearts. His good buddy, Zhao Gang, immediately pulled Chen Mo to sit down beside him. Jiang Yao wanted to go see if the food was ready, but the handsome Wang Lei stopped her, because everyone was waiting to talk to their host. The other classmates were also egging her on, so Jiang Yao had to agree. At this time, Zhao Gang asked Jiang Yao to sit here, and he would sit somewhere else. Jiang Yao wanted to sit with Chen Mo anyway. The opportunity was handed to him, and he was smiling brightly. Zhao Gang raised his eyebrows at Chen Mo, with an "you owe me one" kind of look. Chen Mo also raised an eyebrow. Actually, he wanted to say he didn't need such a favor. However, those boys who had ideas about Jiang Yao had faces full of displeasure. Two boys were seen secretly exchanging glances. Then one of the boys, pretending to be casual, asked, "Oh yeah, Zhu Hao, today is the opening day of Jiang Yao's family's restaurant. What kind of congratulatory gift did you prepare?" Zhu Hao crossed his arms, smiled smugly. "That money tree at the door, that's what I gave to Yao Yao." Then he looked at Chen Mo, asking what he had given. Without waiting for him to speak, Zhu Hao said teasingly, "You didn't come empty-handed, right? Or did you give a red envelope? How much did you put in it? 10 bucks, 20. These insulting words even caused many people to laugh out loud. Zhao Gang looked at Chen Mo anxiously, but he calmly drank his tea, with no intention of explaining at all. Jiang Yao couldn't take it anymore. She helped Chen Mo out of the situation, but that made many people hate Chen Mo even more, secretly cursing him for being a good-for-nothing, actually needing a woman to stand up for him. Chen Mo put down his teacup, finally looking up at Zhu Hao. "You keep provoking me. Do you really think I'm easy to bully? A good-for-nothing like you. Do you deserve my provocation? Are you worthy? Enough. Zhu Hao, if you continue to target my classmates, please leave with your gift." Zhu Hao was stunned. He never expected Jiang Yao would get angry at him for a good-for-nothing. However, for the sake of his pride, he still softened his tone on the surface, but a touch of sinister intent arose in his eyes. "Once I get my hands on you, see how I'll deal with you." But Zhu Hao's hidden look did not escape Chen Mo's notice. Seeing that he dared to harbor ill intentions towards Jiang Yao, Chen Mo slowly placed his hands under the table, forming a seal, preparing to make this guy die silently. At this moment, Yao Yao's mother walked over with a red envelope. "Yao Yao, who gave this red envelope? Take a closer look. This red envelope actually had $10,000. The little punks present immediately gasped in shock. Jiang Yao looked at Chen Mo for the first time, asking if it was his gift. Chen Mo had to release his hands from the seal, embarrassedly scratching his head. He explained with a smile, "This is just a small token of my appreciation." To ease the awkwardness, Yao Yao's mother had to pull out a single bill, and asked Yao Yao to give the rest of the money back to Chen Mo. Yao Yao handed the red envelope to Chen Mo, with a strange emotion in her eyes. "Brother Chen Mo, I understand your feelings. Just listen to my mom. Take it back." Chen Mo didn't insist any longer, and took back the red envelope. Yao Yao's mother then said with a smile, "That's right. Sorry for making everyone wait for so long. Let's eat." Not long after, the table was filled with colorful and fragrant dishes. While eating, Zhao Gang suddenly grinned. Just now, who was saying that Chen Mo didn't bring a gift? Those classmates who had mocked Chen Mo just now inwardly looked away, feeling guilty. Zhu Hao was now secretly filled with hatred, believing that Chen Mo was absolutely doing it on purpose. His face darkened as he stood up, using the excuse of going to the bathroom. As soon as Zhu Hao left, everyone began to whisper, thinking that Zhu Hao couldn't save face, and was using the bathroom to relieve his embarrassment. Only Chen Mo knew what he was actually doing. Zhu Hao was sitting on the toilet, calling people, preparing to make trouble. Just when everyone was happily eating, suddenly 3 little punks walked in, the leader being a bald man with a blue dragon tattoo on his head. The bald man shouted loudly, "Boss!" All the classmates were immediately shocked. Only Zhu Hao had a sinister grin on his face. Jiang Yao stood up a little nervously. "I'm sorry, today is the first day of our restaurant opening, and we are not serving outside guests for the time being. Why don't you guys check out other places?" The 3 saw a beautiful woman and immediately surrounded her, their faces full of lewdness. "Oh, there's such a pretty little sister here. Come and chat with us brothers." Yao Yao's mother scolded them. "Who are you? What do you want?" The bald man suddenly stopped, turning to look at Yao Yao's mother. "Are you the boss here?" "Yes. What do you want?" Hearing this, the bald man laughed exaggeratedly. "What do we want? Brothers, you tell her. What do we want?" The yellow-haired man next to him immediately took over. "You really don't know whose turf this street is under. The one in charge is Tiger Bro here. This street is Tiger Bro's territory. Understand?" Baldy Tiger laughed arrogantly. "If you wanna run this street, you gotta play by my rules." "Zhong, whose rules?" Yao Yao's dad stepped forward, asking them what the hell they wanted. Baldy Tiger rubbed his fingers. My rule is 100,000 a year. Keeps you safe. Yao Yao's mom instantly roared. You damned robber. We're a legitimate business. The parted hair lackey obsequiously pushed over a chair, lighting a cigarette for Baldy Tiger. Baldy Tiger sat down, crossed his legs, and blew out a puff of smoke. So, you're saying you're not gonna pay? Yao Yao's mom was about to refuse, but was pulled back by Yao Yao's dad. It's not that we won't. It's just too much. We haven't shorted you on our food and drink. Cut the crap. I'm just asking one thing. Are you gonna pay or not? Yao Yao's mom couldn't take it anymore, pushing away her husband and cursing. You collect protection money? You filming a movie? Heh? Okay, Ajie, make the call. Bring the guys. Receiving his boss's order, the lackey Ajie pulled out his phone and started calling in reinforcements. A bunch of high schoolers had never seen such a scene. A few cowardly classmates immediately made excuses to slip away. Jian Yao was disappointed but still forced a smile, reminding them to be careful on the way. Just then, Zhu Hao suddenly roared. Cowards! Yao Yao's family is in trouble, and you run faster than rabbits. If you leave now, don't you ever say you know me. Zhu Hao stepping up at this critical moment immediately earned Jian Yao's admiration. Zhu Hao patted Jian Yao's shoulder, saying with a look of conceit, Yao Yao, don't worry. I know these guys. I'll talk to them. They won't dare make trouble for your family. Jian Yao was immediately overjoyed. Really? Thank you so much. Of course, Zhu Hao didn't forget to deliberately slight Chen Mo. Unlike some people, Zhu Hao, don't play so many tricks when giving a gift, like they're afraid others won't notice. Chen Mo suddenly unleashed a bone-chilling aura. Say that again. You damn punk. I'll slap you to death. Zhu Hao instantly felt a chill down his spine, stood frozen, not daring to say another word. Even Baldy Tiger subconsciously looked at Chen Mo, clearly feeling the powerful aura emanating from him. The icy killing intent directly targeted Zhu Hao, making him tremble uncontrollably. I thought Baldy Tiger could bring in some tough characters, but they are just rainbow-haired punks. Baldy Tiger glanced at the three of them. Someone doesn't want to follow the rules. What do you say we do? Well, that's easy. What do you want? Zhu Hao knew it was his time to shine. Tiger bro, this is my classmate's family's place. Please give me some face. Tiger bro. Baldy Tiger slapped him in the face and sneered. Zhu Hao, from the Jew pork factory? Zhu Hao had a bad feeling, but he still bit the bullet and said, please, show some mercy. Unexpectedly, Baldy Tiger's hand suddenly exerted force, slapping Zhu Hao to the ground. Give you face? You think you're worthy? Even your old man wouldn't dare ask me for face. Seeing this, Yao Yao's mom roared angrily. What's the big deal in hitting a kid? Come for me if you're man enough. But Zhu Hao turned a deaf ear to Yao Yao's mom and instead questioned Baldy Zhonghu. What the hell do you mean? Didn't you say that as long as I showed up, you'd leave? As soon as these words came out, everyone instantly understood. This guy was the one orchestrating everything. Everyone cursed him for being so insidious. Jian Yao was so angry that he cursed him for being too despicable. Zhu Hao was filled with remorse. He had been so blinded by ambition. How could he have said those words? Looking at Zhu Hao stunned, Zhonghu looked disgusted. That's right, I promised you, but now I don't want to leave. What can you do? Zhu Hao was so scared that he peed his pants, apologizing non-stop, saying he'd get lost immediately. Then, with a face full of resentment, he walked to the door, but didn't leave. He hid behind the crowd, wanting to witness Chen Mo's downfall. Sure enough, Baldy Tiger finally started to go wild. With his command, the lackeys started smashing the tables and chairs in the restaurant. Jian Yao's parents could only watch helplessly as they wreaked havoc, and Jian Yao stood in place, letting the wood chips graze across his handsome face, never once retreating. This restaurant carried all his dreams, because his family background made him feel inferior. He craved change, hoping that one day, he could stand tall and proud beside Nkuyu. Jian Yao suddenly burst into a roar. I'll fight you bastards. Just as he was about to rush forward, a gentle and powerful hand grabbed him. Jian Yao turned his head and saw Chen Mo smiling faintly at him. Let them smash. Don't worry. Whatever they smash today, I'll make them pay back tenfold. Trust me. Chen Mo's voice was very soft, but it carried such powerful and undeniable confidence, infecting Jian Yao. Jian Yao couldn't even muster a single doubt, choosing to trust Chen Mo completely. He patted Jian Yao on the head, comforting him. In his previous life, when he was at his lowest and most helpless, it was Jian Yao who never left his side, and in this life, it was Chen Mo's turn to protect him. Enough, right? A faint voice suddenly rang out, clearly reaching everyone's ears. Baldy Tiger stared curiously at Chen Mo. Who the hell are you? Tired of living, trying to interfere with my Zhonghu's business? I'm someone you can't afford to mess with. Hearing Chen Mo's words, Baldy Tiger laughed extremely exaggeratedly, as if he'd heard the funniest joke in the world. Even his lackeys burst into loud laughter. Chen Mo spoke faintly again. Tenfold compensation for all damages here, and publicly apologized to my aunt and uncle, and I might just let you off. Zhao Gang, not minding the fear anymore, told him to come back immediately. Yao Yao's parents, seeing Chen Mo step up for their family, couldn't just watch this young man get hurt and prepared to borrow money to give to Baldy Tiger. Hiding behind the crowd, Zhu Hao showed a vicious grin, waiting to see Chen Mo's demise. However, Baldy Tiger did not get angry, looking at Chen Mo with a serious expression. "Kid, reveal your alliance. Maybe there is still a glimmer of life. Otherwise you won't be leaving this restaurant today." Chen Mo replied calmly, "My reliance is myself." Baldy Tiger felt ignored, instantly flying into a rage. "If that's the case, then today you'll be losing an arm and a leg at the very least." Chen Mo smiled faintly. "It's been many years since I heard such words, because those who said these words to me are all dead." Baldy Tiger waved his hand. "Get him." Yao Yao's mom immediately tried to stop them, saying she'd give him the money right away. Baldy Tiger just replied, "Too late." Chen Mo had already made his move. He moved like he was taking a stroll, weaving between the lackeys. His moves were also unbelievably fast. In just 3 seconds, these people were already on the ground crying in pain. Everyone, including Jiang Yao, was stunned, their faces full of disbelief. Zhao Gang was even more excited, cheering for Chen Mo, while Zhu Hao subconsciously gulped, a look of constipated panic on his face. Baldy Tiger brushed off the dust from his body, still not putting Chen Mo in his eyes. "Kid, you good at fighting, huh? But can you dodge bullets?" Chen Mo remained expressionless, but secretly became vigilant. Although he had entered the chi condensation realm, he couldn't yet block bullets. Guns still posed a threat to him. Suddenly, he saw Baldy Tiger reaching for something behind his back. His eyes suddenly narrowed, and his palm struck his jaw like lightning, sending him heavily to the ground. Just as he was climbing up and yelling, Chen Mo's whip kick had already lashed out, sending Baldy Tiger flying again. Clearly, he was seriously injured. Coughing up old blood from his mouth, Chen Mo stepped on his head. "If you dare to pull out a gun, I'll kill you right now." Baldy Tiger quickly caved, explaining, Big brother, I was wrong. I don't have a gun. I just wanted to scare you. In that case, tenfold compensation, and publicly apologize to my aunt and uncle." Baldy Tiger agreed repeatedly, saying he would kowtow and apologize. Only then did Chen Mo release his foot, then hurry up and crawl over to apologize. Baldy Tiger first crawled to Jiang Yao to apologize. Jiang Yao told him to go apologize to his parents first. Baldy Tiger immediately crawled to Yao Yao's parents, kowtowing and apologizing non-stop, promising to ensure the safety of their restaurant in the future. Yao Yao's mom softened for a moment, telling him there was no need for tenfold compensation, just the original price would do. Baldy Tiger cautiously asked Jiang Yao, could they leave now? Jiang Yao said, go. Baldy Tiger and his group immediately felt a sense of relief, repeatedly thanking him, and then quickly fled from the place. This man was a great cultivator in the deification realm with memories of 3 lifetimes. After leaving Yao Yao's restaurant, he was sought out by the Jin family and invited to their home. Old Master Jin cupped his hands and bowed. I, Jin Zhongruan, respectfully welcome Master Chen. Chen Mo nodded. Old Jin, no need for such formalities. Just speak your mind. Jin Peiyun was slightly stunned, thinking, this guy is too impolite, even though Grandpa invited him. How can a guest sit in the host's seat? He didn't even bother looking at the top-grade Da Hong Pao tea that Grandpa brewed for him. To tell old Master Jin to get straight to the point, Jin Peiyun had never seen such an arrogant person. Even old Master Jin was a bit embarrassed. However, Jin Zhongruan quickly recovered. Master Chen is straightforward. In that case, I won't be polite any further. Firstly, I must thank you for the elixir, which cured my wife's long-term ailment. Chen Mo directly waved his hand, interrupting him. You bought, I sold. We each got what we needed. We are even. Let's talk about the second matter. I would like Master Chen to see if you can cure my illness. That is the real reason you sought me out, isn't it? Yes, I apologize for making Master Chen laugh. Use all your strength now. Throw a punch. Let me see. Jin Zhongruan was stunned, not understanding Chen Mo's intention, but still did as he was told. He stood up, took a deep breath, and a powerful aura suddenly erupted from his body, throwing a punch into the void. The powerful fist force brought a sound of tearing through the air. Chen Mo didn't expect this old man to actually be a martial artist with inner strength, but he had already determined his illness. I understand. Your illness can be cured with a single chi cultivation pill. Jin Zhongruan was overjoyed upon hearing this. This disease had plagued him for decades, and all the famous doctors he consulted had made no progress. He immediately promised that as long as he could be cured, he would give half of the Jin family's assets to him. Jin Peiyun, however, was skeptical and hurriedly stopped him, saying to Chen Mo, you're being too rash. Chen Mo wasn't angry at being questioned, and still explained, actually, old Jin's body isn't diseased. It's because his cultivation method is incomplete, causing the meridians to accumulate blockages over the years. Plus he had internal injuries in his early years that never healed. Injuries on top of disease, which caused his current state. Jin Zhongruan hurriedly nodded. Correct. Master Chen is absolutely correct. Hearing her grandfather's personal confirmation, Jin Peiyun had nothing more to say. Chen Mo continued, however, to eradicate the root, you must give up martial arts cultivation, otherwise the illness will return. Are you willing to do that? Old Master Jin was struck by lightning. To give up martial arts was harder than taking his life, but thinking of the pain when the disease flared up, that unbearable torment, he fell into a dilemma. Chen Mo didn't urge him. After all, having seen the wonders of martial arts and the immortal path, who would willingly become an ordinary person again? After a long while, Old Master Jin sighed helplessly. I am already 72 this year, and don't have many good years left. This family business has also accumulated enough. That incomplete martial arts manual was just something I happened to get, but it created the huge Jin family. I should be satisfied. Master Chen, I am willing to give up martial arts. I only ask that you cure the pain in my body. Good, but the family assets are unnecessary. I only want 1 million as the cost for the chi cultivation pill. Send someone to collect it in a few days. Why wait a few days? Can't it be done now? Such a magical pill. It must need time for Master Chen to prepare it. A chi cultivation pill isn't anything rare. I just need to go prepare the materials. May I know what materials Master Chen needs? I'll send someone to procure them immediately. Then Chen Mo wrote down what he needed on a list and handed it to Old Master Jin. Old Master Jin looked at it and said, it will take 2 days to prepare. Chen Mo wasn't in a hurry, telling him to call him once he'd collected everything. Chen Mo suddenly remembered something. Old Jin, how much do you know about the martial arts world? I don't know much. After all, while I was able to cultivate martial arts and boxing, that incomplete cultivation manual is nothing compared to those ancient martial arts sects with a lineage. Are there still ancient martial arts sects in China today? Yes, although I don't know where their mountain gates are. They definitely exist, and have been passed down for a long time. Chen Mo asked him to first talk about the martial arts world. Perhaps Li Jiao had some connection with those ancient martial arts sects. The martial arts world's division of martial artists' strength is divided into 4 realms in total, called the 4 martial realms. They are outer strength, inner strength, transformation strength, and the legendary divine realm. Outer strength, inner strength, and transformation strength. Each realm is further divided into 3 minor realms: minor success, major success, and peak. After entering the transformation strength realm, one will be respected as a martial arts grandmaster. Martial arts grandmasters are few and far between, and each one is a powerful figure who presides over one area. They are the pinnacle of existence in today's martial arts world. As for the divine realm, it hasn't appeared in nearly 100 years. After listening to Jin Zhongruan's explanation, Chen Mo asked him what realm he was in. Jin Zhongruan proudly stated, he was a martial artist with major success in inner strength. He had been undefeated in single combat for many years. Chen Mo made a mental comparison. He was probably at the peak of inner strength now, still a bit away from transformation strength, but this was only a division of power levels, not a reflection of actual strength. Therefore, he wasn't afraid of a transformation strength grandmaster. But if he encountered the legendary divine realm, he would be in a bit of danger. He had to improve his strength as soon as possible. Early the next morning, Chen Mo went to school, because today was the day to receive report cards, and also the day the Yang family would come to break off the engagement. If the Yang family dared to treat him as they had in his previous life, he wouldn't mind making sure they would never return to Yanjing. Today was the last day of the first semester of the 3rd year of high school, and the atmosphere in the class was very relaxed. As soon as Chen Mo entered the classroom, Lin Dao, Zheng Yuanhao's lackey, started mocking him. Yo, isn't this our classmate Chen Mo? You didn't even take the exam, and you still have the nerve to come and get your report card? Chen Mo directly ignored Lin Dao, and quietly sat down to wait. Jiang Yao, seeing Chen Mo suddenly become quiet, only thought that he had become a bit more handsome, and Kuyue glanced at Chen Mo, her brows furrowing slightly, wondering what he was thinking. Zheng Yuanhao crossed his arms over his chest, looking at Chen Mo with a face full of disdain. At this moment, the homeroom teacher, Wang Liying, walked in with the report cards. When the report cards were handed out, some were happy and some were sad. When Nkuyue received her report card, the homeroom teacher smiled brightly, because she was 2nd in the class, and 9th in the entire school. When she gave Zheng Yuanhao his report card, the homeroom teacher was grinning from ear to ear. Zheng Yuanhao was 1st in the class, 3rd in the whole school. I hope you can get the top 2 spots before graduation. The entire class burst into amazement, but when the homeroom teacher read Chen Mo's name, her expression became extremely unpleasant, shaking with anger. Chen Mo, last in the class, last in the school. You are the first person in the history of Chaisang High School to submit a blank paper. As soon as she finished speaking, the entire class burst into laughter. However, the 2 male students who went to Jiang Yao's restaurant last night did not join in the laughter. After all, having seen Chen Mo's strength, they thought he didn't care about grades. At this moment, the class monitor, Zheng Shirley, pointed at Chen Mo and scolded, Chen Mo, you are simply the biggest disgrace to our class 6, dragging down the entire class's average score. Chen Mo said coldly, you're really annoying. Can you shut up? What did you say? Say it again, Chen Mo repeated. You're annoying, teacher. Chen Mo is bullying me. Chen Mo, are you going to apologize to the class monitor? Teacher Wang, I don't think I did anything wrong. It was wrong of me to skip the exam, but I have reasons that I can't explain. If I had another chance, I don't think I would do worse than the class monitor. Haha, he says his grades are better than the class monitor. Did I hear that right? Chen Mo, of course, it's impossible to retake the midterm exam, but I happen to have a Huanggang mock exam paper. You and the class monitor can compete on the spot, and whoever loses will apologize. How about that? The entire class instantly erupted, because the difficulty of the Huanggang High School exam questions was 10 times harder than the National High School exam. Jing Shirley looked at Chen Mo with disdain. Do you dare? If you don't, apologize to me right now, and don't make a fool of yourself. There is nothing that I, Chen Mo, dare not do in this world. Then, under the arrangement of the homeroom teacher, the two began to answer the questions, with a time limit of 1 hour. Jing Shirley was frowning from time to time. It was obvious that the test paper was indeed difficult. However, Chen Mo was relaxed, writing as if he had the help of the gods. This made many people feel confused and surprised. The lackey Lin Dao was unhappy, thinking, this guy must be writing gibberish. Only Jiang Yao waited for the result with anticipation. Although Nkuyue was a little surprised, she still didn't believe in Chen Mo. Zheng Yuanhao, on the other hand, looked indifferent. He knew better than anyone else that Chen Mo was doomed to lose this competition. Half an hour later, Chen Mo suddenly stopped writing, put the test paper on the podium, and asked, Teacher Wang, when does the winter vacation start this year? From tomorrow until the 16th of next month. Chen Mo said, got it, and turned around to leave the classroom. Suddenly Jing Shirley stood up fiercely, yelling at him, stop, you want to run after scribbling nonsense? Apologize to me, I finished the test paper. You guys can take a look. The homeroom teacher couldn't help but be startled. Although he didn't believe that Chen Mo had finished the test paper, he felt that Chen Mo's tone didn't sound like he was lying. Wang Liying picked up Chen Mo's test paper and began to read it seriously. After reading it all, Wang Liying was completely dumbfounded, because the entire test paper was actually correct. Those who were waiting to see the joke were all slapped in the face. Jiang Yao was so happy that he almost jumped up. Jing Shirley snatched the test paper from the stunned Wang Liying, and began to read it. After reading it, she sat down in a daze, her face full of frustration. If Chen Mo was trash, then she was worse than trash. Chen Mo, with his back to the crowd, raised the corners of his mouth. My abilities are not something you mortals can comprehend. Dropping this classic line, he left the classroom dashingly, but as soon as he left the classroom, trouble came knocking. A group of square dancers, vigorously swaying their seductive figures, shouted, Chen Mo, we want to break off the engagement. This scene directly dumbfounded Chen Mo. Suddenly someone called the square dance ladies to stop. Chen Mo frowned as he looked at that person. Who are you? I'm my dad's grandfather's nephew's older cousin's younger brother. I'm your cousin Qin Cheng's cousin. On behalf of the Yang family, and my cousin Qin Cheng, I officially announce the annulment of the engagement. Chen Mo was completely dumbfounded, because it wasn't like this in his previous life. Could it be that history had changed because of his rebirth? Who are you? Are you sure you can represent the Yang family? I'm Yang Fei. You can call me Fei Xiao. Alright, I've delivered the message. I have other matters to attend to. You don't have to try and keep me. After speaking, Yang Fei threw a stack of bills to the leader of the square dance ladies. The ladies who received the money kissed the bills, and didn't forget to shout to Yang Fei, young man, if there are any good things like this in the future, remember to come and find me. Chen Mo was speechless with laughter. The Yang family actually had such a treasure. However, he quickly figured out Yang Fei's purpose for doing this. At this moment, Nkuyue ran over from behind and stopped Chen Mo. Chen Mo asked indifferently, and classmate, is there anything? Nkuyue felt a pang in her heart. The Chen Mo of the past wasn't like this towards her. She couldn't understand why he suddenly became so indifferent. She could only suppress her dissatisfaction, move closer to Chen Mo, and whisper, my mom asked me to ask you, where have you been these past few days? Why haven't you been back to my house? She's worried. I've rented a place outside. I won't be troubling the Yen family anymore, Chen Mo said indifferently, and turned around to leave. This made Nkuyue stomp her foot in anger, but Nkuyue's pride prevented her from chasing after him. Standing blankly in place, a sense of loss in her heart, and everything that just happened